Cool. So we got our good friend here, Peter from Slesh, for the first interview. This was gonna be an exciting one. We've talked about Slesh multiple times on this show, and kind of aligning the idea of if you're gonna bet on, like, we're gonna get one or two. We're gonna get AI season or we're gonna get ICM season, and so betting on both is like betting on Slesh here, right? Because it's an AI and an ICM. So I just want to do a speed interview. Get to know you a little bit better, Peter, and then get to know your product, the token, how it integrates, what people can look forward to, and we're just going to run through it. So, Peter, can you kind of give us a little bit of background on yourself? How you got into AI and what you're building here with Slash.
Yep. Hey, thanks for having me. Can you guys hear me?
You're good, dude.
Loud and
Okay.
clear.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me. So, yeah, my name is Peter, and I'm the co-founder of Slash. We're a team of 5 now. A bit of my background. So, how I got into AI was, I've always been interested in AI. I've worked in several startups before. Most recently, I was part of Blorm, maybe more well known as the company that made Zerebro and Blormy. Um, but that's how I got involved in making AI, and in this case, it was an intersection of AI and crypto, right? So I was part of the team to design and to create sort of like an AI agent that's able to do Web3 actions for you through natural language or prompts. So that's how I got really deep into this AI orchestration or agentic AI. And in terms of um, web automation or whatever we're doing now with Slash, right? How I got into programming or how I got into computers was through Snickerbots. Actually, that's how I first learned to do reverse engineering and to automate like different websites. So from there, I thought, okay, like there might be a sort of a cool combination of what I could do with AI and web automation. So that's how we came up with the idea of Slash. Yeah.
Very cool. And tell us about the product a little bit. What does Slash do? Computer use agent, right, or something along those lines? Give us an idea.
Yeah, for sure. So Slash is I think, an easy way to think about it. It's sort of like super ChatGPT, but anywhere on the internet. So what it does is it lets you ask questions about any pages, articles, videos, PDFs, even, or anything on the internet, and it answers your questions directly, takes actions, or even automates workflows for you. So if you have a question about something that you're reading, something you're watching, you have like a sidebar on the side of your browser. So it's a Chrome extension now, and then you just send a message to ask what your question is, and it could either answer your question or it could take control of the browser and do the action for you. So yeah, I guess a simple way to think about it is sort of like ChatGPT, but unlike a lot of other AI tools out there, most of them are informational based, right? So they just tell you stuff. But with Slash, we take it one step further where we actually do stuff for you. So we could actually interact with the pages and do other things. So yeah, that's Slash.
Interesting. So if I was trying to fill out let's say, price to equity ratio spreadsheet or an Excel sheet, would Slash be able to do that for me if I ask it to input some of that data?
Yeah, it should be able to. I mean, right now we're still trying to fine tune the exact workflows. It should be able to do a lot of these things that you'd be able to do, but we're trying to figure out ways where we could improve the accuracy and the yeah, basically the accuracy of what it could do. So in the future, it would be something like I don't know if you guys are familiar with Cursor, but a Cursor for programming. So the vision is to have something like that, but for the browser, where it could literally do anything a human could do. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What interested me too is it's just so easy to use. If I'm on my computer doing anything, you just hit backslash and slash pops up, correct? Or
Yep. That's right. That's why it's called Slash, right? So, um, yeah, it would just be triggered, and then it would be open on your sidebar, or you could just choose to keep it there. So as you browse, it just stays there and it knows the context of your previous tabs or wherever you're going. So yeah.
Very cool. And of course, if you want to, I'm not sure if you're at your computer, but you can demo it for us live too. We always love seeing it, kind of work on the show if that's something you're open to. But in the meantime, let's ask, what do your metrics look like? How many people are using this? Are you growing? Um, yeah, directionally, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, for sure. So we we actually pivoted the entire product. I'm not sure if you guys have been following, but a lot of people that's been following me or Slash knew about this. So we rebuilt the entire product last month, exactly a month ago. So we're calling it Slash 2.0, right? If you see our socials. So we've been in closed private uh, beta for the past month, and I think I learned a lot from our first iteration where we just launched and we don't really know who our users are, who's actually using the product, and what kind of problems we're solving. So we took a different approach this time where we do a very small group of closed beta. So we actually have like a small group of people that we constantly talk with and see what problems we're solving with Slash for them, and we just learn and iterate from there. But right now we have about like 60 weekly active users for our closed beta. Yeah, and we're launching. We're going to be opening it for the public starting like tomorrow. We'll post a whole announcement on this. But yeah, I think the goal is to, like our goal for the closed beta is not to get as many users as we could, but rather to get as many users to love the product. So we could start with, like 10 people liking the product. And then once we launch public, we already have like 10 people that could champion us. And, we could just accelerate growth from there. Yeah.
No, I mean that totally makes sense. I like that approach. How could we get? You said tomorrow it's going live to
Mhm.
everyone. How can we get access?
Yeah, we're going to post out an entire announcement. So we also did a few updates last week. We haven't really announced yet. So yeah, we'll post out a tweet tomorrow for this.
Cool. Something real quick to double click before we get into another question. You had mentioned you have five people working on this project. Can you tell us some of their backgrounds as well? You
Yeah,
mentioned your background.
sure. Yeah. So my co-founder, he was also he was someone I met at university. So we were college buddies basically. Similar like me, he's a computer engineer. He worked at AMD. His name is Lucas. Yeah, he worked at Sour Cream on Twitter. But yeah, he worked on AMD before. Um, and yeah, we've been friends for like a long time. So it's only natural we work on this together. And for the other team members, we have Cha. If you see, basically every person that I mentioned is on our Slash following. But she's our community manager, and she's involved with doing marketing for us. And two other person is a founding engineer, one founding engineer, and one person doing marketing. So yeah, five.
Cool. Very cool. Tell us a little bit about the token you have here. You got the Slash token we had it pulled up earlier. Any integration utility you guys have or are planning to implement?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Um, yeah, obviously so, right? But um, it was actually funny. The first time we launched Slash, I couldn't really think of a way where we could properly implement sort of a token flywheel or integration for it. But now it's more clear, especially with this iteration of Slash. So tomorrow we're gonna put up an announcement of our new set of features. So we're introducing Slash Pro and Slash Enterprise. So basically, we'll think of having revenue as the product, right? So through subscriptions, it's like a freemium, and we'll do some sort of a flywheel mechanism. We're gonna post that in the next few days, but we'll basically do buybacks and burns as a phase one, and then so we have different phases where we first we'll start with buybacks and burns, and then we'll integrate in the future if people are interested. We'll integrate the token to pay for the product as well.
And would
But yeah,
that be like a credit system or something?
yep, it will be a credit system. Exactly.
Very cool. No, I think the product's awesome. give us an idea of your roadmap. You announced a few things. You got something tomorrow. You got plans for integration. Can you give us an idea of, a forward-looking idea of what you're going to do next, what the roadmap looks like?
Yep, sure. So I think when creating Slash, right, there has to be a bigger vision that we have than making a sustainable business or making profits off a product. I think we 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 thought of this vision the past few months, or the past few weeks rather. So our vision for Slash now is to make agents accessible for everybody. So now we're starting as a browser extension, but our grand vision is to actually um, give everyone in the world access to personal agents. And to do that, we first start with the browser, where people this is like something that people use every day, right? And if we learn how to use the browser properly and to help people how to browse the internet and do things over the internet, we could virtually do anything. And then from there, we're going to venture into a bigger ecosystem of personal agents. So yeah, as a bigger roadmap, we're working on something bigger than a browser extension, than a browsing assistant. But really, the grand vision and the roadmap that we're going for is for personal agents and making agents accessible for everybody, no matter the platform.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a pretty good way to go about things. Just make a fantastic product, and then the profit and revenue will just kind of naturally follow. So that's really cool. I would say if you're on your computer, we'd love to see it demoed live. If you want to do that real quick, I'm not sure if that's possible or.
Yeah, let me just set up something real quick.
Cool. Go ahead. I will kind of just yap, I guess, in the meantime. Josh, chill. Any thoughts or initial anything that comes to your head initially?
Yeah, I have a quick question just around. Saw you posted about agents or slash agents, I think is what you had there. Just your thoughts. I mean, everyone is kind of talking about agents. Google and Microsoft have an agent to agent protocol, and it's clear that these things are going to go from interns who are kind of clumsy to really, really talented things that do work for you while you sleep. How do you guys think about agents at Slash, and what role do they play kind of in your product roadmap?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think when people think about agents, right? I think like a common misconception that a lot of even big companies are doing now is they have the thought of, okay, maybe it should be like sort of like a chat interface where people would go to like a website and they'll be able to do anything, or maybe a single app and they could be able to do anything. But I think my stance on that is that you know like agents shouldn't be confined within a single interface. So that's the reason why I said the grand plan of Slash is to have an agent that goes beyond every platform, right? So it's not a single browser extension or anything. It's one agent that you could use everywhere. And I think in terms of usability of the agents itself, a lot of people are really interested with, now at least like agents are really good with answering you questions. And what our plan is to make agents that are really good at doing things for you. In the future, if you have an agent that's able to do things for you, then you literally have like something like Jarvis, right? Where it's not just something that you could ask questions for, but it could actually do things for you. So the idea is to have an agent that could use a lot of apps in the world, or a lot of things on the internet, so you could virtually ask it to do anything. And I think that's what Microsoft Copilot is trying to do. And eventually Siri is also trying to do that. But we'll see, right? It's a matter of who could create the best user experience. That just makes sense. Yeah.
And Peter, do you see a future at all where like every computer is just not going to have a browser use agent, if that makes sense? I feel like it's inevitable to see every computer just paired with a browser use agent at some point.
Yeah. I think that was the case. If you see, like for the past 2 months, right, we've seen Perplexity, Comet, and then we've seen Dia browser. I think a lot of browsers are thinking in that same direction, and I think that's a really good sign for us. It means, like we have the right idea, right, and the right vision that maybe this is where things are going. But again, I've always mentioned this as well. I think people are really amazed with a browser or an agent that's able to fully control your browser. But right now, at the current state of things, it's not. Most of them are not that fast, and it's not that reliable. So we have to find sort of a great user experience and a company that could create a user experience so great where it's just intuitive to use and makes sense to use rather than you having to do manual things for you are those that are going to win. So yeah, eventually I see a world where a lot of companies or browsers would try to do the same thing, but it's a race of who could create the best experience that people actually find it makes sense to use. Yeah, I could show up a demo, by the way. I'll just show one site. Okay, let me share my screen.
Yep.
Yeah. We love demos. We love live demos.
Okay.
It puts it in perspective, Let's see.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, okay. Let's say okay, I'm just gonna show YouTube, for example. So this is Slash. It's like a sidebar extension, right? So it's on the side of your browser, and as you go to different sites, like it stays there. So you don't have to trigger it each time if you don't want to. And yeah, like I said, you could ask anything anywhere. So for example, for this one, like say you're looking at a tweet, and then you could just ask I don't know, like what is this tweet about, for example, and then you just ask it, and then it knows exactly like what you're looking at. It tries to explain what it is. Here.
Now, if you wanted to say, "Hey, Slash, quote tweet this tweet," and break down the thread in simple terms, could it do that?
Yeah, it could do that. So it could automate. So let me just show you. So it's really good at navigating and doing very quick actions for you. So for example, you could say, search for tweets about Slash. I could say that, and that it would try. It does the search for me. Like I'm not using my browser right now. As you can see, right? Like I just say search for tweets about Slash, and then it searches the exact thing that I want, and it searches Slash for you. So yeah, it will be able to do things like what you said as well. I'll just show you another thing. So for example, right, like the core reason for Slash was I was having a hard time thinking of, like probably I'm not the only person to experience this, but you could be on a dashboard or on a website, and it's very hard for you to navigate or to look for certain things. So Slash is really good at helping you find those things. So for example, you're on Twitter, you want to change like your language settings, for example. You could literally just say like change my language settings, and then it would try to find
Wow.
it find the right page, and okay, this is where you could change your language setting.
That's so cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's really cool.
like the vision is for you to be able to do this anywhere, and it could do that anywhere. Like right now, for example, I'm on YouTube, and then I want to say like I don't know. Okay,
Real quick, before you put that in, could you show us what happens when you push the slash or backslash?
Oh yeah. Okay. So if you close it, and then I just let me just refresh this. Yeah. So that's what happens. Like if I do a control slash, it
pops up.
Yeah. Yeah. But in the future, we could think of like several ways where it makes it more intuitive. But yeah. That's what it does. So you also have like a chat history, so you could see your previous chats and everything. And it works.
I could realistically see everyone using something like this. It's like it just seems so natural for progression.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think, like if you as a founder yourself is using the product every day, then it might be a good sign that, maybe other people are going to think of the same way, right?
But how do you sell this? I think that's probably the biggest thing. People just don't know that something like this is even available. How do you get this out there?
Yeah, I think well, first we have to do our marketing right? And we have to get the right market. So for example, like for Perplexity, comment, their market is like early adopters or people that are deep into tech. and there are like early adopters that would try this kind of technology. But I think we want to go more on like the mainstream route. So we could even start with students, for example, which is what we're going to do on Instagram and on TikTok. So we could help students, even answer like their quizzes or edit their Google Docs or just do anything for their work using Slash, because it also understands videos, right? So it could help them understand lectures as well. So first, we're going to try to capture that market first, for students, and then slowly we'll try to find out who our exact demographics are. But yeah, I guess we'll do it. We'll do it through UGC, so user generated content, and then marketing on Twitter. Yeah.
We have to cap it there, Peter. I hate to be the guy, but thank you so much for joining. We would love to expand on this maybe a little down the road as agents heat up and AI 2027 becomes a thing. So, but thanks for joining.
Yeah,
Really
for
cool
sure.
stuff.
No, thanks for having me, everyone.